Hello everybody, this is Mike from MBoxWave.com, and I just got into a long position on this morning's Emini Dow Jones. Looks like an interesting setup, looks like a decent setup, so I'm going to go over the analysis and then we'll see what happens. So the market's opened up here 9:30. We've been coming down, and this is what I was really watching as this big red box came down right here. I'm watching the MBox Delta here, right? So if we zoomed out, so this was a level that about 7:30-ish this morning price hit right here, and after the open price returned here. And what happened at this level and afterwards is what gave me the a good setup to take a long position. So I'll just start drawing things up. So basically what I see is I see supply here, right? And we are contracting. So let me write that down. So MBox supply contracting. Right. At the same time, we've got demand, and this is a lot of demand. I mean, if you see it's contracting as we hit this level of support, the supply is contracting, but the demand shot up really strong right here, right? So there's a lot more demand coming in. So we can say that the MBox demand is strong, right? And this is all comparative, right? I'm comparing the boxes and seeing what's happening, right? I mean, if you look at this big red box right here, and actually there's less supply here in this box than initially right here where the sell-off began. And so that's got to scratch your head about it, because we're hitting this level of support and there's supplies contracting, and then we get this strong demand come in, right? Then I got this nice here MBox buy imbalance, which means there's more buying than selling on this one bar red box right here, which consists of just one candle, right? So there's absolutely no selling here. So got to squeeze that in here. This is MBox Delta by imbalance right here. And so I got in after this MBox Delta buy imbalance. It looked like a lot of demand came in, and I wanted to get in, you know, at this point. I set my target, right? If we zoom out, you can see this was a congestion zone right here. I could have put it up here, but when I see that there's a congestion zone like this, right, I'm not sure if it's going to reach this level or not. I could always move it if the analysis is strong, but you know, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, it acted as resistance 5 times, but it's centered around these 1, 2, 3, 4 peaks right here. Okay, so this is interesting. So you see this right here, a lot of demand, but that box is smaller than this box. This looks like a lot of effort was spent and less result was produced. But given that this demand is strong right here and that we had supply contracting, I still feel comfortable with this initial take profit level, but probably now I'm not gonna think about moving it. You know, we've got the you know, the cumulative buying is expanding, so this is important. So even though we've got this effort situation here, the cumulative buying is still expanding, so that's good. So we've got that right here. We've got the the offers right here, we are outpacing the bids. So we've got that going for us. Looks like we just hit our target, 2,300 bucks. So it looks like I'm not done for the day. Like to get at least 5 grand, but that was the logical place to exit after I saw this effort situation. So I want to finish explaining what I saw in this trade, and then I gotta find another trade. I'll be watching the market. So what else did I see? So when I zoomed out, right, I also saw that, see this, the supply when it came in here, in the cumulative delta here, it exceeded the entire previous day, right? So let me get that here. So it exceeded the entire previous day. And what's important about here, I saw this as climactic because we had a lot of selling here. We exceeded the entire previous day, but as soon as we hit this level of support, a lot of demand came in here in the MBox Delta, a flood of it. So this showed me to be climactic and that price was oversold. That's what it looked like to me. So climactic and that price is oversold. Given that it couldn't sustain the supply, I mean that's what told me that it was oversold, that since it couldn't sustain the supply and this demand came in, right? We had this nice buy imbalance. Showed me that, you know, we were oversold at this level and there was something to squeeze out of this trade, right? We also have, and I'll be watching the charts here, I guess, see if we get into another trade or. All right, so we got this minus 436 to minus 132. So we see also a contraction of supply in the wave delta as well. Wave delta supply contracting. Right. And when I got into this trade, I forgot what that number was. I think it was 300 or something, but there was demand. I could see compared to the 153, there was like 300 something here. So I saw demand in the wave delta. At the time I took the trade, I saw there was demand in the wave delta. All right. So, you know, when we add all that up together, and one more, this is the support line, right? So this is the support line held price. So this is also very important. So I didn't get in on a signal in this trade because I saw that the demand was strong here and I had this MBox Delta buy imbalance. I saw that the trade probably wasn't, well, now I can see that, you know, the demand here is dropping. So, but initially I didn't know how long it was going to last for, so that's why I wanted to get in here. So how many points of confluence do we have, right? So we've got the support line held, that's 1. Wave delta supply contracting, that's 2, right? We see the MBox demand is strong, that's 3. We see the MBox delta supply contracting, that's 4. We had this MBox delta buy imbalance, that's 5. Cumulative buying spanning, that's 6. We had the cumulative selling. I conclude that was climactic and oversold at 7. And the offers outpacing the bids. That's 8. Right? So I had 8 points of confluence at the time I took the trade. And that trade did work. And initially I said I was going to see if I was going to move the stop, but you know, if we can see what's going on right now, I guess we'll see how this box finishes, but you know, off the bat, look at this. We're getting contraction in demand happening right at this level of resistance. You know, and I say this time and time again that support and resistance levels is really where most of the action happens. Anyway, so I made $2,300. That's not as much as I want to make, so I'll put the oh, looks like we're going up a little bit. Anyway, so put the record on pause, and I'll see what happens if we get another opportunity for a trade. Alright, so I'm back in a trade now. It looks, so I shorted here, right? It looks like this resistance line is holding, right? The one I drew here, this congestion zone. And look at this, we've got a pretty, well, to me it looks like it's a telling, you know, demand exhaustion situation. We look at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. We're just falling each box, right? With this box, it looks like the point of no demand. That's what it looks like to me. I put my you know stop right above this box here. So I'm betting on that. This is the last point of demand right here. Look at this, it's just exhaustion. Quinoa Delta looks like it's falling. I don't see a huge supply, but it looks like this level is holding, and so that's why I put my take profit accordingly here. I put it right here because this was a level that we corrected from. And so, you know, usually, you know, if this is going to hold here, in my experience, when price reverses, it likes to come back to where it previously had trouble with, which is at this, you know, swing point. And so that's what was logical to me, right? So we had this demand exhaustion here, and the MBox demand exhaustion, right? And that's really telling because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not that often I see 5 in a row, and it's just decreasing, right? So 1, 2, 3, we made a higher high on less volume, right? And we can see that in the wave delta. We have a demand drop 863 to 170, right? 863 to 170. That's a demand drop. Higher high and less demand. Drop, so minus 863 to, that's not minus, sorry. Plus to plus 170. And it's a demand drop on a higher high. So that's important. Alright, so at the higher high we have less demand. Alright, what else we have? So when I saw this box come in right here, so this looked like effort, no result to me, right? So you see this blue box? Let me see if I can zoom in here, make it more obvious. So look at this tiny box right here, right? And look at the MBox Delta. Compared to the previous box, it's about half as much. But look at how much it produced, right? It didn't produce half as much as this. See, if it produced box from here to here, then that would be, you know, proportional, but this is not proportional to the previous box, its length and how much delta was produced. So, you know, I take that as effort no result. So let me move this, draw another arrow here. So this is effort no result. This looks kind of, let me just put that here, MBox demand exhaustion. Guess it doesn't look that pretty in my arrows, but okay, that's fine. So we had that. Also, you see this box here, and it looks like there's very little supply, but given that if we conclude that this is demand exhaustion, we really don't require much for price to begin falling, right? It's falling from its own weight because this level became overbought. So it's just falling from its own weight. This, to me, becomes ease of movement. All right, now it looks like we're going. See, and we got a nice double signal here, right? I entered before it, but we could add on a position, but we're close to hitting the profit. All right, so what else did we have? So, you know, the cumulative buying began to contract. You know, buying contracting, and you know, while we don't see much pace, but look, after this point the pace of offers completely dies, and we're seeing that the bids right here are outpacing the offers. So after this point, pace of offers dies, and even though this is looks like less than here, we are outpacing the, oh, we hit it. So that's $4,250. Still not my $5,000 target. So I guess we'll see if we catch another trade here. Anyways, let's complete the analysis. So here we have pace of offers dies, plus we're still outpacing. Let's outpace. Right here, right? So, you know, we have quite a few points and going on here. You know, this wave became supply here. So what do we have? We have this demand drop, right? We have the MBox exhaustion, effort no result, ease of movement, cumulative buying contracting, and we've got this pace situation here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of confluence. Right, so 6 points of confluence is not as strong as my usual. You know, I like to go for 8, 9, or 10. So, you know, I set my expectations accordingly. Right, so I wasn't going for a massive move. I'm not. Guess we'll see what happens here in relation with this line, but looks like we could be coming down, but see here, I'm not seeing much in the MBox Delta, so wait, still wait. Anyway, I'll put the record on pause and we'll see if we catch another trade. All right, so we're back, and I just got into a long position here after this double signal, Stooges plus spring. It looked like we came back to this level of support right here. And what am I seeing? I'm seeing that, supply drying up at the support level again. Now, while I don't see strong demand, I'm seeing the same situation here. Well, similar, supply dried up here, supply dried up here. I'm not expecting, a huge trade here, but it looks like the market is chopping, zigzagging up and down. And so it looks like, it's reasonable that, we can make a profit here on a long and then be done for the day if that works out. So let me draw here what I saw. So we see a supply contracting again. See, and the thing is that, it happened already once here. It's happening again here twice for the second time. So, that gives it, credibility. When something repeats, like a trend line you draw, if a trend line, the price hits it second time, or I mean third time, it's stronger than if it only hit it two times, right? So this is hitting yet again, right? Here's, 1, 2, 3. So this is the third time price within the last couple hours is hitting this level, and I'm seeing a contraction of supply, right? While I don't see much here demand, right, I'm seeing the contraction of supply, so I'm setting my expectations accordingly and just going to go for, you know, almost a one-to-one gain here. Set my stop at this support level and my take profit at this breakdown level. Price, bounced off here, came back down and broke through it, right? And price, that's a good level. Price tends to like to come back to, breakout and breakdown levels, so that's where I put it. Plus, I saw this double signal at the supply exhaustion at this support level. So, it became reasonably to, became a reasonable trade to get something out of it. Not a killer trade, but, something. At that time, look at also the Quinoa selling is not strong. I mean, we're failing, at these levels, we're failing to produce as much selling as there was here, right? We could see that, we're not even producing nearly anywhere near those amounts, right? So I guess I could start marking it up. So MBox supply contracting. So today's sort of a choppy day. I mean, I did see the setups, but when there's chop and there's setups, just set your expectations accordingly. You know, the cumulative selling is much weaker than the previous level, right? If we compare that to here, and here it's just much weaker, and at the support line. So we've got here a double algo, right? And that's what helped me, get into this position is I saw this double algo and the supply is contracting. Quinoa selling is much weaker than previously, so we got this double algo. Stooges sell, buy, and the spring buy. We also see, the supply going from minus 106 to minus 86. So we're making a lower low on less supply, you know. That's also another thing to look at. Lower low on less supply. So it looks like we're getting some demand right here, right? More, seeing something here. So, that's it's not it's not huge confluences here, but we got one, two. It's a double algo, so that's 2 points. So that's 1, 2, 3. This contracting 4. This is 5. Don't The pace is not telling me much here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of confluence. So I'm not going for a huge gain trade. Huge expectations here. It's managing realistic expectations given what the analysis is showing. So I guess we're gonna have to wait. So I'm gonna put the record on pause. All right, so we just exited the trade, got out right here. Price continued jumping up, so there's some money left at the table, but that's okay. Happy with the result. $5,000, $5,750 for the day. So I'm happy with that. Today was choppy day. So I traded what I saw, and when the markets are choppy, set the expectations accordingly. You know, and then take what you can. Right. This was the first trade here. We went up to here, and then shorted here. So this was a long short, and then another long. Anyway, so that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was educational, showing another choppy day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.